Hey there, Stampin' friends. Welcome to Movie Monday with Jody Brackbill, Stampin' Queen. Here is today's project, and this is an adorable little card in a box. There was a demonstrator, and I cannot remember her name, but she was on the Thailand trip, and this was something that she demonstrated. This is her exact card. She sent the information over and I made it and used it in my WOW class, and everyone absolutely loved it. So you take this little box out and you have a little treat in there, and then you've got a card that you can do your sentiment. And clearly this is not one that goes in the mail, but that's okay. We don't always have to mail things. We can sometimes hand deliver to our friends. Anyway, I can't remember her name, and I didn't want to stop my video to go find it. So anyway, shout out to that Thailand demo who did that in our I forget what it was called, Stampin' Share or something like that. So this is the stamp set that we're using. It's called Add a Little Glitz, and let me show you how we're going to create that card. We're going to start off with our score tool, and we need a 6x6 piece of designer series paper. I'm using the Be Merry designer paper, and I want to score all the sides. This is the side I'm going to be using. I want to score all sides at 2 inches. Now on your score tool, you'll notice that you have a larger end and a smaller end. I tend to like the larger end for this one because it won't poke through the paper as easily as the small one will. Your paper is not real thick, so you don't want to really do a very heavy score. You just want to do light scores, and that larger ball does seem to help a little bit. So you're going to do at 2 inches on all 4 sides. And I'm already knowing what I forgot. My scissors. Okay, so while I have this score tool out, I'm going to do my lid. And my lid is 3 1/8 by 3 1/8, and I want to score all sides at a 1/2 inch. So while I've got the score tool, let's go ahead and make that happen. 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. This is our box lid. Okay, so let me get this out of my way, then I'll have lots more room to work. Okay, so now what I need to do on my lid is I just want to cut straight up to that score line that I made. I want to do that on one side, and then I'm going to turn and do the exact opposite side. And then I want to make all my folds real nice and crisp. Bone folder would be great. Mine has disappeared. This isn't where I regularly stamp, and I've been stamping so much this week that everything is all over the place. So now I'm going to do a little bit of adhesive in here. I have mono or snail adhesive. That is what is on my table, but you could use Fast Fuse. You could use the Tombow, oh come on now, the green Tombow multi-purpose glue. You could use Terran tape, but what you're going to do is just fold those little guys in there and create that box lid. Okay, so all your sides want to be folded in, and there's our lid for a little box. Now some of them are sticking out, the little edges, and that bugs you. You can go back and get rid of them. Just snip them off. See how they're a little longer there? That's okay. So there's your box lid. You're going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to go ahead and fold this a while. That might help me see my scores a little bit better. They are very tough to see. I will give you a warning. When you do them light on really patterned paper, sometimes it gets a little tricky. So same deal. You're just going to cut, whoops. You're just going to cut right up to that first score line, both sides, and then turn it and do the opposite, same to the opposite sides. Now you can put your box together, or you can leave it so that it's more like an explosion box. So it's just going to fold together like this. Okay, creates a great little box, and then your lid will actually hold it shut. Okay, now if you want to, you can glue it down, or you can leave it and it just kind of explodes open whenever your person opens your little gift. Okay, so that's our box. Now we're going to take a piece of garden green cardstock. We're going to put, I have the score in the center there, and I need my paper trimmer. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do is take, whoops, let me see, here we go. I'm going to take this edge, the right edge, and I'm going to put it at the right 1 inch mark. So on the Stampin' trimmer, we have 2 1-inch marks. I have one here and I have one here, and that is specifically done so that you can do things like this, that you have 1 inch on the left and you have 1 inch on the right. So I am going to put it in at 1 inch, and I'm going to cut all the way down to the 2 inch mark. So there's a little point right here on my cutter. I want to make sure that point stops at 2 inches. And you do want to press pretty hard because you're going through 2 pieces. You're going through your front and the back of your card. Okay. Now I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to put this edge, my left. Okay. So here's what I just did. I did my 1 inch cut. Now I'm going to flip it, and my 1 inch is going to go in here at 3. And I'm going to do the exact same thing, okay? I'm going to cut right down to the 2 inch. Now I'm going to stick it back in, and I'm going to put my fold edge at 2 1/4. No, 2. Pretty sure it's 2. And you'll find out soon, won't you? All right, now I'm going to cut from 1 inch to 3 inches. And that's just connecting those 2 cuts that I had just made. And I should be able to pull this little book. This is what we said. It was Barbie's book. Okay, there's a little book for Barbie. So now you have the hole where your box will fit in. Okay, is that making sense so far? I hope so. So I'm going to take a piece of designer series paper. This is another little strip from the Be Merry, and I'm going to lay it there for a moment just for my visual, because I'm going to do my stamping, and I'm going to stamp my May Your Season Sparkle. And I want to make sure that I'm not too high and I'm not too low, and I'm hoping I have a juicy ink pad, but we'll see. So this is garden green ink, and I'm just going to stamp May Your Season Sparkle right there at the bottom. Oh, it looks good. And I'm also going to take a piece of Whisper White while I've got that ink out, and I want to stamp my Christmas tree from that stamp set. Are you good and inky? All right. Oh, I missed his little, did I miss his bottom? I did a little bit. That's all right. I have another piece. Can't have the bottom of your tree missing. And now that I'm looking at it, you know what? I think something sat on this stamp. It got flattened a little bit. So that might be what happened. Let's try again. Second time is a charm. There we go. Beautiful. So I can go ahead now and attach this strip of DSP. And it is going to go right at the bottom of that little hole that you made. Then I have a piece of cherry cobbler, and I'm going to attach my Christmas tree onto that. Something's on there, a piece of adhesive it looks like. And a couple little dimensionals on my tree. There we go. And finally, where's my bling? Oh, here it is. We're just gonna put a couple little rhinestones because our season is sparkling. So we're just gonna put a couple. I have one here at the S, at the tail there of the E, one down here at the K, and then I want a couple on my Christmas tree. Whoops, they're sticking in my fingernail. Come on now. There we go. Okay, so now we've got a little bit of bling on there to add some sparkle. So final step is going to be, I took a little bit of this tinsel, the red tinsel, and just bring that around so it's actually going to be tied like a present. And I'm going to actually do this side because these are my loose sides. Let's see if I can get this tied by myself. A lot of times I have to go ask somebody to put their finger in there to hold it. There you go. So now let me show you. Okay, so in the first box you'll see that we did around 4 times. I went around and I did that crossover thing at the bottom. I like it better this way, just the one way, because when it tries to slide down into the hole that you created here for it to sit in, the edge of the card messes with this. And so that way, if you do it with just one, you can sit it down in here and the ribbon's not going to be a problem. Now what you did when we cut these two is we made it the exact same size as the box. So what we have to do is kind of shave just a smidge off this edge here, and just do that with your scissors. Just, you know, like just kind of keep shaving it until that box fits. It should slide in, but you don't want it to be crazy tight, but you don't want it too loose that it falls out. So this might be, yeah, it's just a smidge too tight. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. You kind of have to pop it out a little bit over the box edge, and then you have to open your card out a little bit too so that it stands on its own and holds that box into place. Okay, so there you go. There's your box in a card. So thanks so much for joining me, everybody. I'm going to lay it flat there so you can see it. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week for Movie Monday.